All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Town of McCandless meeting for November the 23rd, 2020. The invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilmember Schweiger.
I pray that all our town residents and employees, emergency responders stay safe this Thanksgiving week. We appreciate the sacrifices, patience, understanding, kindness, and thoughtfulness that everyone has exhibited during these difficult times. Amen. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the
and to the
republic
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Announcements. I would like to announce that a council was in an executive session this evening from 6:30 to 7:30 to discuss litigation matters. I would also like to present our new town attorney from Babst Callan. This is Steve Corbel. Steve, do you have anything to say?
Geez, you're putting me on the spot. I didn't know I had to say anything. I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to working with you all to make your town a better place than it is today.
Thanks, Steve. Welcome.
Sure.
Also, please, everyone, keep an eye out for a letter that is coming in the mail from the American Lung Association. It's inviting all town residents to send in for a free radon test kit. So be looking for that. I also appreciate everybody's patience in the picking up of our leaves. We have had some equipment problems, but we will be getting them. And to remind you, keep the leaves on the edge of your yard and not in the street. I would also like to say congratulations to the Nostro, N-O-S-T-R-O family. They were the winners of the Hidden Heritage Scavenger Hunt, which went on from October 1st to 31st from our Heritage Center. They won the grand prize basket. The fundraiser raised $338, and it was a lot of fun. I also wanted to tell everyone that as a non-essential service, the Heritage Center is going to be closed during these times with the uptick in the COVID cases. So it will be closed until further notice, until we get a hold on some of this. That's all the announcements I have. Did anyone else have an announcement? Okay. All right. Public comment. If you are interested in making a comment, the public hearing, we'll have the public hearing comments after each public hearing. But if you have another comment about anything or about something on the agenda or just anything, now is the time to put your name, your address in the subject in the chat box, and RJ will turn you on. So RJ, do we have anyone?
I've got one signed up right now. It is Rita Martin at 10585 Grubbs Road, and it is regarding the library budget. So I'm gonna bring her on now for ready.
Okay.
All right, I have sent a microphone and camera request.
All right, Rita, are you there?
I am.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for this moment. First, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I hope you have a grateful and wonderful Thanksgiving. I guess you'll be counting turkeys instead of chickens this weekend, which is a good thing. And I hope that each of you got the letter that I sent this week and had a chance to read it. I want to thank Angela for responding to the letter. I know that you're voting tonight on the library budget, and I just wanted to encourage you to vote positively. It is the most important thing in our community as far as I'm concerned. It is what keeps everybody informed and reading. And I hope that you will consider the revised budget as passing mustard. That's all I had to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rita. Is there anyone else?
I do not have anyone else that signed up.
Okay. All right. Maybe there'll be some people interested in speaking at the public hearing. All right. First public hearing. We have two tonight. First public hearing is on the ordinance tentatively identified as ordinance number 1507, an ordinance reappropriating certain funds of money within the general fund 2020 budget. Bob, are you going to take that? Is Trish going to take that?
Trisha's gonna take that. We'll see if she can, you can hear her when she talks.
Good evening. I can share my screen if necessary. We have ordinance number 1507, which is the reappropriation ordinance for the 2020 budget, amended budget. As part of the town charter, town management needs to report on any items that are going to exceed $5,000 and 10%. These items listed on the draft ordinance are items that exceed that amount, but these items are all expected to be covered through increased appropriations would be financed through reduced appropriations in other areas and increased revenues. If you have any questions, I'm happy to address any line items, and then we can open the public hearing.
Are there any comments or questions from anyone from council? Okay, we can open it up now to the public. RJ, is there anyone that has any comments with this?
I have not had anyone so far sign up for any of the other matters on the agenda. Friendly reminder, everyone, if you're still looking to comment on any of the public hearings, you can still sign up in the chat box, but as of now, nothing.
Okay. Okay, so we can close this public hearing and put that on a future agenda for us to adopt. Okay. Next public hearing, opening of the public hearing on the town's proposed 2021 budget is scheduled for council's regular business meeting on the ordinance tentatively identified. Oh, so this is just for the scheduling of the hearing. I'm sorry. Identified as ordinance number 1508, an ordinance setting the real estate tax rate for 2021 and other revenue sources and setting certain appropriations for the 2021 calendar year.
This is actually the hearing.
Oh, okay.
Bad language on my part.
Okay, all
What
right.
happens when you copy and paste, I guess.
Okay. I thought we had to, but then I wasn't sure. All right.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yes, and can everyone see the screen that Tricia, or the slides that Tricia put up on your
Yes.
computers? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The in front of you, you see the proposed consolidated budget broken out by the various funds, the major funds that the town has. We have a $16.2 million general fund, $3.9 million capital fund. Our state fund is $826,000. Our total budget for the year proposed is $21,530,000. You see here, just broken out by the pie chart, 75% of the total budget is the general fund, and then the others are broken out. Capital is 18%. Overall, we're seeing a 10% reduction in size of the proposed 2021 budget compared to the amended 2020 budget. Oh, I'm sorry, the original 2020 budget. So for the general fund revenue, we have a total revenue of $15,070,000. The majority of that comes from earned income tax, real estate tax, realty transfer, and business privilege tax. Yeah. No, that's okay. Go ahead. And then we have a breakdown of expenditures, $2.2 million for general fund, 7.9 million for public safety. Public Works is 3.8 million. Culture and Recreation is 979,000. There are tax refunds built into this, but total expenditures of $15,070,000, and then $1.2 million in transfer to the Capital Improvement Fund for that total expense of $16.2 million. And there is a pie chart just graphically showing the breakdown of the various fund or various programs in the town. Before you go back to that, sorry. Just to reiterate what we have said in prior meetings, we have certainly incorporated the impact of COVID-19 into this proposed 2021 budget. And we have been able, through expense reductions, to keep the millage rate at its current level of 1.236 mils. In the Capital Improvement Fund, we have just under $4 million in proposed improvements, road program, roadway improvements and stormwater improvements are the prominent elements in the plan. We have not proposed any reduction or any changes in the level of stormwater work that we would be doing. We have adjusted downward the roadway program. It will approximately be 2/3 of what historically we have spent on the road program, but looking at the budget, it looks like a 50% reduction, but we're anticipating being able to do more than 50% of the work that we would normally be doing there. We're also incorporating some parks and recreation improvements that have been ongoing or proposed, but not undertaken in the past, namely some playground equipment and improvements at Wall Park, Potter Park, and at Devlin. So coming up, the next milestones in the review process will be December 14th when we review the public hearing and we do salary reviews, and then plan on approval or adoption of the budget in December 21st. So any questions that the council or the public have? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I'll ask again. Any comments or questions from council? Going once? Oh, yes, Shirley?
I just want to say that these are tough times for our town, and that I know from the meetings that I've had with Tricia and Bob that they worked very hard to put together a budget, answer all of our questions preemptively, and that I think that proposing a budget that is 10% less than the budget approved for last year is appropriate. And I think they've done a good job of addressing the challenges that we face during these difficult times. So I just guess I'm saying thank you.
Thank you, Shelley.
RJ, do we have anyone in there?
We do not.
Okay. All right, then this concludes the public hearing. Next is approving the meeting minutes from October the 26th and November the 9th. Did anyone have any additions or changes that needed to be made in those minutes before we move to approve them? All right, then can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay. That's for adopting the minutes for October 26th through November 9th as submitted to council. Is there a second?
Second,
Okay. Ask again, are there any changes that needed to be made? Or any comments about the minutes? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Liaison reports, activities committee.
You been given a report in your packet, and I do want to say that our turkey bingo was a great success, especially with our guest visitors. So we had Sergeant Guzzo from our McCandless Police Force. We had the NA Tiger and also an appearance by the Trader Joe's Corn. We had a lot of fun that evening, and the town activities advisory committee has been very busy, and hopefully we are working hard to get a small holiday event together for you. So keep an eye on our McCandless and Me and all of our town social media for more news of that. If there's any questions, happy to answer them.
Questions? All right, EAC.
the minutes of the last meeting are in your packet. And the only thing I would say is that more to come, but there is one of the things the EAC is looking at right now is, are there opportunities for any solar installations funded by others for our town? So more to come on that issue, including a project form I hope will be coming council's way in the near future, but it's exciting, meaningful stuff. So I thank the EAC for the work they're doing. And are there any questions or comments on the minutes or anything else? That's all I have then.
Okay. Finance Development and Promotional Committee for the Heritage Center.
Information should be in your packets, and we already announced the Nostra family as the winners, but the Hidden Heritage raised almost $340. All 31 books sold out. And so, you know, nice. I think people got engaged and went pretty well. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. I do not believe there was a meeting of the Joint Rec Board. Our junior council member, we received your report. How are you? You're still muted.
Oh. Just sent a microphone request.
Yeah. So my junior council report's in. If it's just a review of what happened in the last meeting and what important points I thought in my perspective. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to read it and then email me.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
The McCandless Franklin Park Ambulance Authority.
Yes, the minutes from the last meeting in, I believe they're October, are in council's packet. Unfortunately, because it's only been a few days, a short time since the last meeting, which was on the 17th, I do not yet have the minutes for that meeting to share with you, but I expect to get them soon, and I will share with council as I receive them. And any questions? I guess I would say they received, Bob, I don't know if you want to speak to this, but regarding the letter that was sent from the multi-municipal group.
The group of managers met, and a response letter to the ambulance authorities, correspondence to us was drafted. requesting some additional information, some details on how they're going to move forward with some alternatives. That has been received, and I was in touch with Mr. Buckley this morning, and he evidently is looking for some clarification. So I will be meeting with him and probably Julie Bastianini from Marshall, who drafted the majority of the letter, so that we can provide the clarification that he's looking for. Right now, I don't know exactly what that clarification is, but he had a few questions and needed some clarification, so we'll proceed with meeting with him.
Does anybody have any questions, comments? That's all I have then.
I believe there was not a meeting for the MIDA, the McCandless Sanitary Authority.
The information that we have is in the packets. Because of the timing of the meetings, there's no approved meeting minutes this time around. It's just because of when the meetings took place and when they approve them, and the timing of our meetings. So, but nothing terribly exciting going on there. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Was it just me, or could we not tap on I couldn't get those tabs to open to read the material underneath them?
Where in the
minutes? Usually they're all written out longhand in there, and now they had under each subject, and they had a tab that you were supposed to go under, and I clicked on the tab and it didn't. It was a new format and we couldn't read the minutes, or I couldn't read the minutes.
Yeah, what's in there is just the agenda for the most recent meeting, instead of minutes, because they didn't have any minutes to approve. So that's actually just the agenda for the meeting that just happened. And I don't think in paper copy they have the things that go with the tabs, but I don't think they have them electronically for the agenda.
Okay.
I think they scan them in later or something.
All right. Well, that's why they wouldn't work then. All right, thank you. North Hills Council of Governments.
Yeah, most recent meeting minutes are in your packets. Of note is that we moved to approve Aspinwall as the 21st member of the North Hills Council of Governments.
Well, welcome Aspinwall. Northland Public Library Authority.
That's me. The information is in your packets, and we'll be going. I think we're going over the revised budget later tonight. So, questions for the budget can wait till then. But if anybody has any other questions on not related to the budget, now would be the time.
I'm excited about the partnership that the new partnerships that are forming between the activities committee as well as the tech committee with the cable channel with the library and the town. So I think that's really a great avenue. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel and to compete with each other when we can just support each other. So I'm really happy about some of these community partnerships that the town is taking up. So we're glad to be working with the library. North Pittsburgh Community Development Authority had no meeting. The Personnel Board also no meeting. I think I'm right on that. That's what this says. Planning Commission, that's me. We had a meeting, and several of those, 3 of those will be on later this evening, and we'll talk about them then. So whatever questions you have, we might as well just hold till we look at the new business on those 3 developments. Technology Committee.
The most recent minutes are in the packet. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, Volunteer Firefighters Steering Committee, I believe, had no meeting, and Zoning Hearing Board.
Zoning hearing, you do have the minutes from our October meeting, but the minutes from last Wednesday's November 18th meeting will be available soon. They have not been prepared yet.
All right,
If you have any questions, please let me know.
thank you. And I have president's reports and correspondence. I've already commented on anything that I had earlier. Town manager's report.
You've all received a copy of my report. I just wanted to bring to your attention a couple of items. The Highland Road Harmony Drive project, we are complete with that work until spring. We're going to be monitoring the work that we've done and then doing some restoration in that area in the spring, assuming that we've addressed what we needed to address. Things are also looking good on Montgomery Road. We did a little bit of extra work beyond what we had originally thought because we hadn't caught all of the water, but after this latest rainstorm, it seems as if maybe, I'm crossing my fingers, that we got that resolved. And
Bob, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but for quality control purposes, is Trisha's laptop sound on?
Yeah, you're
No.
good.
I'm gonna go ahead and leave the meeting just in case.
okay,
Sorry.
is that better?
There we go.
Okay, sorry about that. It's all Trish's. As I was saying, the Montgomery Road project, it appears as if maybe that we have addressed that water issue that was coming up through the road, but we'll continue to monitor it.
We're still getting feedback from you, Bob. Is your phone or anything on?
No,
Okay,
nothing else is on.
okay.
If I can figure out who's the culprit, I'll jump in. Sorry in advance.
So, and I apologize for that sound quality. But that's all I have.
Okay, town attorney's report.
Thank you, Madam President. My report was submitted on Fridays, uploaded to the SharePoint. If there's any questions, I'm certainly happy to answer them, or we could have an executive session if there were any questions. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Old business. Is there a motion for 12A?
Move to approve checklisting number 10 dated October 1st through October 31st, 2020, totaling $971,907.40 as submitted to each member of council and posted on the bulletin board and town website.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Are there any questions? I think Trish may still be there if we had any questions.
Available if y'all have questions.
It's like she's a little mouse in your pocket, Bob. She doesn't even have her own.
You don't even want to know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the checklist number 10 indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion for 12B?
Madam President, I move to approve the revised 2021 budget for the Northland Library budget.
Angela Woods, second.
Okay. And this is the, as it said, the revised budget that was submitted to council. I appreciate Amy and her staff going back and tightening the belt just a little bit more, like all of us have had to, and helping out the municipality. So thank you for that. Is there anyone else that has any questions or comments about this revised budget?
I would just like to reiterate the thanks to Amy and the staff for going through that. And also wanted to point out that this is without reducing the budget for, however you refer to a depreciation budget or capital expenditure budget, looking forward to the repairs of the outdoor patio. So we're not going to fall behind or the library won't be falling behind on being able to do that when it's needed. So these cuts were all to costs and not to money being set aside for that.
Any other comments? No. All those in favor of approving the revised library budget, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion for 12C under old business? Oh, you know what? That's a review. I'm sorry. It isn't a motion. This is, we all received the draft ordinance for altering our earned income tax credit. Currently, we extend an income tax credit, a town income tax credit for our volunteer firefighters that are resident in the community, in McCandless, but we have not extended it to firefighters who live in our community but serve in other communities. So it was brought up to us that we could possibly do that kind of and have some reciprocity with the other communities, that maybe some of our firefighters who live in a neighboring community could also get that break who volunteer McCandless. So kind of a good faith deal. So we looked at this draft. Is there, Bob, did you have anything else that you wanted to say about this?
No, I think that the draft is fairly self-explanatory. Kim did a nice job of explaining the purpose behind it. This is, we don't believe, based on those people that we're aware of, that this is going to be a significant impact to the budget, much beyond where we are currently with our resident firefighters. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have in this regard.
I had one question. I am in support of this to, whatever we can do to show our appreciation of our first responders in our community. And I also have said before, I know that many firefighters, their unit, their company becomes like family. So if there's a move 5 miles north or west, they still want to stay with family. But I was just wondering if it needed to have named communities in this ordinance or this proposal. If, we have our Marshall Stack presents a mutual aid report every month to us that lists communities such as Ross, Franklin Park, Bellevue, Ohio Township, and so on. But is there a need, or should this be limited to those communities that we typically have the mutual aid response to? I don't see an opportunity that it would go much further than that, just because of response times for volunteers, but not sure if it would ever be needed.
And that really becomes a policy question that the council can address. And Steve, please feel free to jump in here, but this is a time where the council can make that decision how far of a reach you want to extend in terms of where somebody may volunteer. There have been, I'm familiar with other communities that have limited this type of benefit to just those people who serve in mutual aid companies, as you suggested, Trish. There are others that just say, if you're going to take time and volunteer, you should receive a credit. So it really, I'm not trying to pass the buck back to you guys, but it really is however you want it to look at this point.
I concur with Bob.
Tricia, what are you thinking?
I was just curious because I'm wondering if there, might ever be a situation where, people spend 5 months in Florida and serve there. Are we going to, give credit for serving out of state, or I just don't know if there's a limit to it. Like I said, I'm all for finding ways to find little small thank yous for our first responders. I just, I think keeping it nearby will help with the process of validating these requests, because we do need to have support of the captains in those companies and so forth. I don't know that this will ever be an issue. Maybe you have experience and can say, no, it's always just people in neighboring communities, which would be fine by me if we just left it as is then.
I'll just add that it only applies to fire service in the Commonwealth. Someone can't drive to West Virginia or Ohio and get credit for that. Or Florida for that matter.
And Bob, we think we have like 2 people.
That's who we're aware of at this point.
And remember that any ordinance can always be amended. So if we decide this isn't working for us, we can change that. So,
Okay. And I'm comfortable with it as is then. Thank you.
all right. Okay. All right. Are there any other comments during this review? Okay, then the next step for this would be just
Public
does
hearing?
this have to have a public hearing,
I'm thinking that it does.
Steve?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I will check it out and let you know as I'm becoming familiar with the McCandless town charter and town code.
The draft refers to one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a money thing, so that's telling me perhaps that's the case, but I can consult with Bob and put you all on the right path.
Yeah, I know all the zoning things do, but with some of these, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So
So
it's a curious McCandless town code issue, so.
we've heard that a time or 2 before. Yes. So whatever the next step is, let's move toward that.
We'll take it. We'll take that next step.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. All right. Under new business, can we, RJ, are you there? You want to update us on what this is before we decide if we want to move? To
Yeah.
approve? Okay. Give us a
I
heads
am
up.
here. I'm always lurking in the background here. So this first item we've got here on the agenda is the Walnut Court revised Lot 105 plan. This one is actually more of a formality than anything. Basically, this was a townhome community that was approved I guess prior to me being here, so probably late 2019. The townhomes are originally, when they're permitted, essentially the lot is chopped into townhome blocks. So, each lot that you see is presumably going to become, let's say 4 or 6 townhomes, something like that. The reason that it's done this way, instead of just dividing each townhome into a lot right from the beginning, is essentially so you don't end up with somebody's property line 2 inches into someone else's living room, right? Because you don't know if construction is going to be exactly dead on, or if there are going to be little discrepancies that you don't want to become a problem after doing the original subdivision. So the developer, Mr. Pohl, is going to be coming back every time he finishes one of these sort of townhome blocks to divide them up into the individual townhomes within that block. So that's what this plan is. Clean review letter from the engineers. We have no further comments, just awaiting council action at this point.
Are there any questions from council members about this? Okay. Is there anyone who would like to make a motion for 13A?
I will.
Okay.
I move to approve the preliminary/final subdivision application for Walnut Court Lot 105 revised plan submitted by Walnut Court LLC located at 400 through 408 Walnut Court, lot and block 945-J-150, as per project number 64-03-19, prepared by Trant Corporation dated October 1, 2020.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. I'll ask again if there are any comments or questions. Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, RJ, you're on for B.
Yes. Okay, so the next item, this one is also pretty simple. This is a subdivision, what we usually refer to as a lot line revision plan. Essentially what happened here is the Greystone plan of lots, which I believe is 4 or 5, I think 4 single family homes that were originally approved across the way from Broadmeadow, which is where that Fassinger Farms residential subdivision that we recently approved is going in. On the other side of the street, previously there have been 4 homes that were approved under the Greystone plan moniker. So the northernmost lot that was approved in there, actually the resident that lives immediately north, who is at 1290 Fassinger Lane, even though it doesn't front on Fassinger, just in case anyone was confused, FYI.
That was me.
But
That was me
her
who's
driveway-
confused.
Yeah, well, FYI, it's probably not just you. So that driveway slightly is over the property line from the northernmost lot in the Greystone plan. So the resident and the developer approached us and said, you know, is there a way that we can kind of clean this up so that there's not a private access easement on this brand new lot? So this subdivision plan is proposing to just move the lot line a bit south so that the entire driveway is on the residence property, the one that owns 1290 Fassinger Lane. At this point, there was just a couple minor formatting revisions, but the latest edition that is up for approval has a clean engineer's letter.
Did everybody follow that?
So
Okay.
we're just moving the lot line a little bit to make way for the driveway that's there.
That is correct.
That's what she
I should have just
actually
said
said. That is what she actually said. Yeah, good job. Good summary, David. All right. Are there any questions or comments for anyone from council about this? I think it's just going to clean up the map a little bit, really. Okay. All right. Hearing none, is there a motion?
Oh,
Madam
I'll make a
President?
motion.
Trish?
I move to approve the subdivision lot line revision application for the Greystone Plan of Lots Edition submitted by MEK Properties LLC located at 1290 Fassinger Lane, lot and block 610-A-191 and 610-A-176 as per the plan prepared by Shoup Engineering with the latest revision dated November 2nd, 2020.
Second.
All right. Ask again, call again for any questions or comments. All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Third one.
Yeah, so this is the fun one of the night. There are a lot of lines happening on this plan. So essentially what's going on here is, and we do actually have the applicant on here, so I'm gonna send her a microphone request, and Amanda, feel free to turn your camera on too if you want, it's up to you. I'll give the description. If she has anything to add, I'll give her the opportunity, but oh, we've got Mike here too. Okay, so this is Amanda Wolf and Mike Johnston. They live at 9241, right? Old Perry Highway. So they approached the planning department over the summer. They essentially were interested in building sort of a mother-in-law out parcel building suite. You know, depending on whether they're attached to the house or not, sometimes you see them, you know, mother-in-law suites versus a mother-in-law building. Anyway, we advised them at that time that you can only have one dwelling per lot when it's a single family home district. Even if there was a duplex, you would have to have two separate parcels. So, you know, essentially you can't have a separate building on the same residential lot under R1 and R2. So they worked with their neighbor essentially to offer to buy some property. Their neighbor is at 116 Parkville. So between a portion of their lot and a portion of the neighbor's lot, those would be able to combine to make a lot that is large enough to be zoning compliant with the gross lot area, with 90 feet of frontage on Old Perry Highway. It would be a shared access driveway from their current driveway at 9241 Old Perry. There's nothing in our code that precludes that. We did advise them, you know, to have a private access easement included on the deed, because presumably someday, since this is going to be a small house that's built on a separate parcel, even though it's, you know, adjacent to their current property, presumably someday those will get sold as two different houses. So, you know, there are some future proofing mechanisms that are built in. There was one variance received from the zoning hearing board, one of the lot lines that is on the 116 Parkville property, which has double frontage already. That second frontage, which is, it's kind of an L-shaped parcel. So one of the sides is on Old Perry Highway, and then the front of that property is on Parkville. The lot line that was abutting Old Perry Highway was only able to be made 45 feet long. That was, you know, again, to preserve that 90 feet of frontage for the new third lot in between them. You know, no impact on the neighborhood, no one objecting, so it was approved at the zoning hearing board. And subsequently following that, got a clean review of the planning commission, clean engineer's letter, aside from the sidewalk would need to be waived on this new lot, which I do recommend. I don't think there's really any functional benefit, and there's a decent patch of asphalt on the other side of the street, so people should still be able to walk there okay. And that's all I've got. Amanda and Mike, if you would like to add anything.
You've covered it all.
I try to make it easy.
So you're waiving the sidewalk because there's asphalt on the other side of the road? What?
Well,
Help me with that.
The actual property that 9241 Old Perry Highway currently is on, you know, right now as it stands, this frontage is already attached to their current property. There's no sidewalk there right now. I tend to play a little bit of hardball with the sidewalks and say, yeah, you know, even if it doesn't connect to anything, we still want you to put it in. But in this scenario, it's pretty much a cliff for their front yard. I think there would need to be some significant grading, a lot of devegetation. I'm not sure how the runoff would play if they had to take all the vegetation and trees down in the front to put a sidewalk in. And just looking at the topography, there is somewhere to safely walk on the other side of the road. So I don't think we're necessarily increasing the benefit to require one there.
That's what the plans look like. It was pretty steep there, but I just wanted to hear you say that and see if that's what you were thinking. Okay. Okay. Were there any other questions or comments about this?
I just want to say I agree with the point that if this is redeeded, that the shared driveway needs to be made part of that original deed. Trust me, as an experienced realtor, you really want to make sure that's in writing from the very start. So any title searches done show that that driveway has always been deeded as a shared drive.
All right, well, good. Looks like we did the right thing there. Good, good. Any other comments or questions? Concerns? All right, then do we have a motion? It's a lot to read, but I think somebody can do it.
Madam
All right, David.
Excuse me, I got to prepare for this one. I move to approve the simple subdivision lot line revision application for the Johnson Wolf Plan of Lots submitted by Amanda Wolf and Mike Johnson, located at 9241 Old Perry Highway, lot and block 825-L-166 and 825-L-174. As per project number 5218, prepared by Tate Engineering, with the latest revision dated November 4th, 2020, contingent on the property owner completing any required sewer facilities planning activities prior to construction of a new dwelling. If approved, this will include granting a modification request to waive sidewalk installation on the new lot on Old Perry Highway.
Well done. Is there a second?
Second.
All right.
I was gonna
Mike?
say, after I read all of that, somebody better second it.
All right. I'll ask again if there are any questions, just in case something's come up.
Madam President, I have a comment.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I hope a future iteration of our zoning code doesn't require these sorts of subdivisions and recognizes that modern living arrangements sometimes include mother-in-law suites.
You're right. RJ's all over this new code. She's
Very much on the list.
she's working on it, but you are exactly right, Angela. I think people's expectations and things change with time, and we have to adjust with those changes. I agree. All right, thank you. Good comment. All right. If there are no further comments, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Request approved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. D, our last item of business. And this is go ahead, Bob. Do you want to do this, or RJ, you want to do this?
No, I'll do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Save RJ's voice. She's been talking a lot in the last few motions.
Trying to keep it quick.
This is a result of the inspections done by Gateway Engineers for the Chase Bank development. They have completed all of the necessary work as per their approved plan. So the engineer is recommending the full release of any remaining financial security for the development. Just to be clear, there is still landscaping to be done in the area, and that is covered under the AHN small format hospital development plan. So we have adequate security to ensure that that landscaping is completed.
All right. All right, are there any questions? Okay, can I have a motion, please? Mike?
I'd like to move to approve the full release of the remaining financial security for the Chase Bank development as recommended by the town engineer.
Is there a second?
Second, Angela Woods.
Okay, thank you, Angela. I think maybe you made a couple motions and I may have missed them earlier. I apologize for that.
No problem.
All right. Again, I'll call for any questions about this. All right. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the release of the security bond for Chase indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. All right. Motion carries. Is there any other new business that needs to be brought forward?
Oh, I had one.
Oh,
Oh, wait, Shelley's raising her hand way higher than me, though.
No, I'm putting away my notebook.
Oh, I was gonna say, man, Shelley's really getting her hand up there.
We were going to do the wave all of a sudden.
No, I only
that's
wanted
because we're
to,
getting done in a meeting in 1 hour.
I know.
Hour meeting. David, it's on you. 2
Oh,
minutes.
no. Okay, so it's really quick because Raj is still on the line. I noticed something in one of his reports, maybe 2 reports ago. And he had mentioned something about coming up with activities that would maybe be either geared towards younger people or would attract younger people. And I just wanted to make sure that, you know, if he had any ideas or any ideas of getting ideas to feel free to share those. You know, whatever, if you think there's a good way to collect those ideas, or if you have ideas, then I'd just like to encourage you to put it in a report.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, I like right now, I don't like, I've been thinking about that for a while because I've gotten a few questions like that. Like, you know, like, oh, you say that, like, what do you think? To be honest with you, I think the gym we have there is a really great start to get young people to get to more exercise, like especially younger kids and stuff like that. but I'm trying to think of my generation. And so far, I can't really think of right now anything that really applies. But if I do, I'll definitely put it in the report if I can think of something.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
and-
Thank you
and
for
Ro-
your reports.
And Raj, you can direct that right to Trish in the Activities Committee, right there, right there. All right. Any other new business? Oh, old business, new business, business? All right. Going once, going twice. I think this will be our first meeting under an hour with the new council ever. Nice work, everybody. We got through a lot tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Okay, all right. Looks like David and Trish, can I put you for a second?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor, please, of adjourning tonight's meeting indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion is adjourned.
All right.
Good night,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.